So good day everyone. We are the group 3 and we are here to discuss to you about the Presidential Decree number 603. So what is the Presidential Decree number 603? The Council for the Welfare of Children or CWC was created through Presidential Decree 603, otherwise known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code in 1974. It is mandated to coordinate the implementation and enforcement of all laws, formulate, monitor, and evaluate policies, programs, and measures for children. So, next slide, please. General Principles. Article 1, the Declaration of Policy. So, the child is one of the most important assets of the nation. Every effort should be exerted to promote his welfare and enhance his opportunities for a useful and happy life. So this means that children are the most assets of the nation because the hope and success of the community lies within their future and hence it is truly right and just to give them such opportunities and freedom of happiness to live at peace. So next slide please. So the child is not a mere creator of the state. Hence, his individual traits and aptitudes should be cultivated to the utmost insofar as they do not conflict with the general welfare. So this means that children are not mere creators, but their individual characteristics and natural abilities must deserve to be prepared as well as educated. So next, the molding of the character of the child starts at the home. Consequently, every member of the family should strive to make the home a wholesome and a harmonious place as its atmosphere and conditions will greatly influence the child's development. So this means that undoubtedly a children's education starts at home. Parents are the first teachers of their children, which are responsible in building their characters and personality. The balance of education at school and home facilitates better learning along with proper development. So next slide please. Attachment to the home and strong family ties should be encouraged but not to the extent of making the home isolated and exclusive and unconcerned with the interests of the community and the country. So this means that parents should encourage their children to be a family and home-oriented person. At the same time, has interest as well as internal relations being as a good member to the community. So next is the natural right and duty of parents in the rearing of their child for civic efficiency should receive the aid and support of the government. So this shortly means that the duties, responsibilities, and rights of the parents to educate their children to become an active, responsible citizens should be held assist by the help of the local government. So to discuss further the topic, let me give the floor to Mr. Ryan Gimarino.
Okay, thank you, Miss Eliza Reyes Evrado. So moving forward, other institutions like school, the church, the guild, and the community in general should assist the home and the state in the endeavor to prepare the child for the responsibilities of adulthood. So moving forward in Article 2, which is the title and the scope of the code. So the code shall be known as the Child and the Youth Welfare Code. It shall apply to persons below 21 years of age, except those emancipated in accordance with the law. Child or minor or youth, as used in this code, shall refer to such person. So move forward to Article 3, which is the right of the child. All children shall be entitled to the rights herein set forth without distinction as the legitimacy and illegitimacy. So, illegitimate child are those whose parents are married. So, which means, ibang anak ka nga, married ang imong parents, mo nang matawag ka nga legitimate child. In other hand, nasa tayo nga illegitimate child. So, illegitimate child that you are born outside the marriage. So gipanganak ka nga wa pa na kasal ang imong parents. So the question here is, a legitimate child will become a legitimate child? So the answer is simple yes. Because na siya gitawag nga process, na siya gitawag nga legitimation. Nya ang tawag na sad niya na legitimated child, which means this is the process wherein a child who was born out of wedlock. So to continue, number one, every child is endowed with the dignity and worth of human being from the moment of his conception, as generally accepted in medical parlance and has. So this means that every children has the right to be born well and must be cared and raised well. Number two, every children has the right to a wholesome family life that will provide him with love, care and understanding, guidance and counseling, and moral and material security. So this means that every children has the right to live with a family who loves, cares, and teaches a good moral of him or her. So more information, I will give you to the floor to Christine Joy Dasyan.
So the third rights of the child is every child has the right to a well-rounded development of his personality to the end that he may become a happy, useful, and active member of society. The gifted child shall be given opportunity and encouragement to develop his special talents. The emotionally disturbed or socially maladjusted child shall be treated with sympathy and understanding, and shall be entitled to treatment and competent care. The physically or mentally handicapped child shall be given the treatment, education, and care required by his particular condition. So the fourth rights of the child is every child has the right to a balanced diet, adequate clothing, sufficient shelter, proper medical attention, and all the basic physical requirements of a healthy and vigorous life. So the fifth rights of the child is every child has the right to be brought up in an atmosphere of morality and rectitude for the enrichment and the strengthening of his character. An efficient protection is essential to children's well being because, as vulnerable people, they are more exposed to problems of mistreatment, exploitation, discrimination, and violence. Mali.
Thank you, Christine. So, six, every child has the right to an education commensurate with his abilities and to the development of his skills for the improvement of his capacity for service to himself and to his fellow men. In whatever educational setting, in every child has the fundamental right to quality education provided by quality teachers to results narrow approach in learning. 7. Every child has the right to full opportunities for safe and wholesome recreation and activities, individual as well as social, for the wholesome use of his leisure hours. So child shall enjoy special protection and shall be given opportunities and facilities by law and by other means to ensure his or her fullest development. Next, please. 8. Every child has the right to protection against exploitation, improper influences, hazards, and other conditions or circumstances prejudicial to his physical, mental, emotional, social, and moral development. So children have the right to be protected from all other kinds of exploitation by being taken advantage. 9. Every child has the right to live in a community and a society that can offer him an environment free from pernicious influences and conducive to the promotion of his health and the cultivation of his desirable traits and attributes. So all children have all these rights, no matter who they are, where they live, and what they are. because children has the right to live a productive government and should be surrounded by safe communities. And this would be continued by Lyrene Figueroa.
So thank you, Maria Lee. So the next is the number 10, which is the every child has the right to the care, assistance, and the protection of the state, particularly when his parents or guardians fail or unable to provide him with his fundamental needs for growth, development, and improvement. So this means that if a child's parent or guardian is not able to provide for the child's care and protection, that the state is obliged to the care of the child. So the next is that every child has the right to an efficient and honest government that will deepen his faith in democracy and inspire him with the morality of the constituted authorities, both in their public and private lives. So this paragraph states that the government is to provide honest and efficient services. Then the last right of the child is that every child has the right to grow up as a free individual in an atmosphere of peace, understanding, tolerance, and universal brotherhood, and with a determination to contribute his share in the building of a better world. So, the child has a right to grow up in an environment that will develop his character and provide freedom. So that's all for the article number 3, which is the right of the child. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So before we end up our discussion, I will share you a quote by Billy Graham. The greatest legacy one can pass to one's children and grandchildren is not money or other material things accumulated in one's life, but rather a legacy of character and faith. So thank you everyone. I hope you have learned